Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always. And it's another rainy day in St. Louis today. But the birds are singing and spring is coming. I love spring. The older I get, the more I understand why some people move to Florida in the winter here in Missouri, because it can get pretty rough in the winter. But that being said, we have the contrast. The reason we enjoy these spring days and the fall days so much is because we know the contrast of when it's extremely cold and bitter outside and life seems not quite as wonderful when you're freezing outside. But contrast is what makes life exciting and not dull and boring. If you didn't know what it was like to feel bad, you wouldn't know what it was like to feel good. You wouldn't know the opposite. You wouldn't know the difference. So be grateful for the sad times in your life, the sorrowful times, the seemingly difficult times, because these times help you appreciate more when things are going good. You cannot know great joy unless you know deep sorrow. I find that to be very true. Although none of us enjoy the deep sorrow or the sad times or the losing of a loved one. But we learn to appreciate those who are still here. Okay, with that being said, today's topic is a continuation of self-esteem. Self-esteem is so valuable, self-worth, self-value, because if you don't feel like you deserve something in your life better than what you have or more than what you have, you will not be able to achieve it. And if somehow it comes into your life, you will self-sabotage and destroy it or get it out of your life. You can only maintain in your life what you feel you deserve, what you feel you are worthy of, and you deserve whatever you want. The word deserve comes from, I think it's a French or a Latin word. It means of the service. What service have you been providing to humanity? We deserve whatever we want, regardless of what we've done in the world. We deserve because we just are. But you have to feel like you deserve. And to get to the point where you feel like you deserve something, you need to be serving and helping others. The greatest successes you see in the world are people who serve others, whether they are millionaires or billionaires, or whether they are just like a Mother Teresa or a Gandhi. They served other people, and from that service, they received joy. Whatever you give in life will come back to you. Whatever you take from people in life will be taken from you. Now, as I've said before, the reason people don't adhere to this universal law, spiritual law, metaphysical law, however you deem to term it, is because the effects in the outer world are not immediate. The effects on the inner world are immediate, but you don't see the manifestation of that. Just like when you want something in your life, first you must see it within a vision in yourself. You must think about it. Okay, that effect is immediately. When you start thinking about it, it's created, or it is, or it's already there, or you are getting ready to step, or you are stepping into that reality. All things exist. It's just a question of whether you are aware of them or not. Everything you've ever desired exists already in a reality. You just have to step into that reality. And first you have to believe it's possible. But that's a whole other video. Let's go on to self-esteem, which is the root of achieving everything you desire in life. And it's okay to want. Everything you have today is something you wanted yesterday. As long as you don't believe that when you get what you want, you're going to be happy and content. We are made to desire more. But to have joy in your life, you have to be appreciative and grateful for what you have. And be content to a certain degree, but not so content that you don't strive for more. If we had not strived for more, we would still be living in the caves, cooking on fire. Actually, we only learned how to discovered fire because we had a desire for more, something better. Okay, let's go. I'm reading this article from the Mayo Clinic, and we will start with number 1 in the middle of the post we did yesterday. Identifying troubling conditions or situations. Again, think about the conditions or situations that seem to deflate your self-esteem. Once you've identified troubling situations, pay attention to your thoughts about them. As I have said many times, think about what you are thinking about. Write it down on a piece of paper if you can't remember. Monitor your thoughts. They say you have about 70,000 thoughts a day, and that most people think the same things over and over again. Now, you can't write all those down, of course, but think about your dominant thinking pattern. Is it negative, positive, optimistic, pessimistic? Because that is what you're going to draw into your life. Maybe not the exact things you're thinking about randomly, but your dominant attitude, your dominant thinking is going to draw certain conditions into your life to correspond with your dominant thinking, your dominant attitude, what you think about all day. And what you think about right before you go to sleep is very important. Never watch the news before you go to sleep. Don't dwell on negative conditions before you go to sleep, because you bring them into the womb of creation. Some people don't believe that, but I believe that's true. Try it, see how it works. Okay, number 2, step back from your thoughts. Repeat your negative thoughts many times or write them down in an unusual way, such as with your non-dominant hand. That's difficult, I've tried that, to write with your left hand, if you're right-handed, or vice versa. Imagine seeing your negative thoughts written on different objects. You might even sing a song about them in your mind. I've never tried that, but give it a try. Contempt before investigation keeps a man in everlasting ignorance. Herbert Thoreau. That's a good saying. Okay. These exercises can help you take a step back from thoughts and beliefs that are often automatic and observe them. Instead of trying to change your thoughts, distance yourself from your thoughts. Realize that they are nothing more or less than words. You are not your thoughts. Okay, your thoughts bring things into your life, but that is not who you are. Who's observing these thoughts you're having? Some people call that the observer. Think about that. You are observing your thoughts. Your thoughts are here to serve you. They can either serve you or drag you down, and you're the one that chooses. Now, don't be upset about every thought that comes into your head. Now, who knows where they come from? Some of them. Just like a train going through a station. Many trains pass through the station, but you don't have to get on every one. If you have a negative thought or a thought that you wouldn't want anybody to know, or you don't want to think these certain thoughts, you don't have to get on the train. You don't have to go on and keep thinking about it. Let it pass through. Think of something else. The only way to eliminate an unwanted or negative thought is to replace it with something else. You can't not think about something else. You must replace it and think. You cannot not think about something you don't want to think about. You have to replace it with another thought. You have to replace it with something more positive. Number 3, accept your thoughts. Instead of fighting, resisting, or being overwhelmed by negative thoughts or feelings, accept them. You don't have to like them, just allow yourself to feel them. Negative thoughts don't need to be controlled, changed, or acted upon. Aim to lessen the power of your negative thoughts and their influence on your behavior. These steps might seem awkward at first, but they'll get easier with practice. As you begin to recognize the thoughts and beliefs that are contributing to your low self-esteem, you can counter them or change the way you think about them. This will help you accept your value as a person. As your self-esteem increases, your confidence and sense of well-being are likely to soar. Confidence comes with high self-esteem. And your self-esteem will increase if you do esteemable things also. Provide service to people. It's like I always say, people that don't work and maybe they get a check from the government or whatever they get, they are, unless they can't work. I mean, there are certain situations where people just can't work. But if you are able to provide a service for humanity in some way, there's a certain feeling about gaining money that way as compared to just sitting at home and waiting for a check to come. When we enable people not to work or not to provide a service, we're really denying them the fulfillment that giving service to other people provides. I don't care if it's McDonald's, Walmart, the cleaners, whatever. These are all valuable services. Just because you're not Bill Gates or Grant Cardone or one of these guys does not mean that your service is not valuable. Grant Cardone and Bill Gates need you to be at McDonald's to serve a burger. He couldn't get a burger if it weren't for the workers at McDonald's. The people who mop the floors are just as important as anybody. They provide a valuable service. They keep hospitals, schools clean. So whatever your service is, do it to the best of your ability and be glad you can work. Many people wish they could get up and go to work. There are people such as that can't work. There's just a feeling of providing service to other people that you don't get from just collecting money. I would much rather earn $5,000, $10,000 a week than it just be given to me. I mean, I would take it if it was given to me, don't get me wrong, if it were given to me. But there's just a fulfillment that you get from earning that or providing service that you don't get when the same amount of money is given to you. Very important to remember that. Service brings fulfillment, service to humanity. And it doesn't always have to be service that you're doing for money. A lot of times the greatest fulfillment that I get, and I see other people get, is the service that asks nothing from the people they are serving. That is the greatest form of service. Give, and it shall be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It all comes back multiplied, multiplicatively. Whatever you give out comes back. Whatever you take is taken from you. Very important to remember that. Whoever you lie to, whatever you lie, when you lie, you will be lied to. Everything you do, just imagine that you're doing it to yourself. And the only place I have trouble with that is with the way that you treat women. This is a controversial subject, and I won't get into it now, but I believe in the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. But most women don't want to be treated the way a man wants to be treated. We're different, but we need to treat women the way they want to be treated, the way to what they respond to what they respect, to what makes them feel safe and secure if you are in an intimate relationship with them. And that is very different from what makes you feel secure. Two different beings here, women and men, very different. Okay, and we each respond differently. Women are more on an emotional level, men are more on a logical level. They think logically, women think emotionally. So when we treat each other the same way, it just doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying there's not rare occasions, but that's off topic too. We'll do another video on that. Self-esteem, very important. We will continue this tomorrow because unless you feel like you deserve something, you will never attain it. And as I said, if you attain it, it will quickly leave you because you don't feel like you deserve it. You will self-sabotage. You will find a way subconsciously to get rid of it. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining me. Smash that like button. Just smash that like button and subscribe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.